Okay, guys, I have done a post about my brush out for my hairstyle. When I roller set my hair, I use a classic foam roller. My rollers are maybe 11 months old, so yeah, they're not supposed to last forever, but for some reason I have such trouble finding them here in Phoenix, Arizona. And I've had friends in the same position. And when they get a little old, your rollers get a little squished in the middle, and my dye transfers onto it. They're covered in hair. They're dirty. But I really am specific about this brand and size that I like. So I was thinking today, I was like, well, I'm going to have to set my hair again. Actually, who knows when. My set is lasting very well. This was the set that I styled in my previous video. But I thought to myself, what if I were able to just throw these rollers in the wash every now and then when they get a little misshapen in the center. So I took one and I just hand washed it with some detergent in the sink, and it went from looking kind of like this one back to a normal shape. So I figured I'm going to try and wash my full set by taking them off the plastic piece and washing them just in the sink by hand, and see how this works out. I think that it'll be helpful for me to get a consistent size in my sets regularly, without having to shell out to replace these. Like I said, they're not very expensive, but it's more inconvenient to find them when you're not in major cities. Even in Phoenix, Arizona, which is a fairly large city, I have not been able to find them. One of my clients wanted me to roller set her hair, and she drove around to 7 different stores looking for them and never found any. And then even when you go on Amazon, you can't get them delivered prime. So this is just a matter of like quick convenience versus trying to save a penny. But also, let's be realistic. I'm a drag queen. I want to save a penny. So the first step I've taken is taking the foam roller off of the plastic clip. I'm going to separate these for washing. I am going to hand wash them, but I also think, and I will try this in the future, that you might be able to machine wash them in a lingerie bag. So let's see. I took them all off the plastic, and I'm going to make sure to get any extra hair off of them and get them nice and cleaned up. And then I'm going to give them a wash. So I've actually just taken them and submerged them in my dye pot with warm water and dish soap. Nothing too fancy. I'm just going to make sure that they all get a little soapy and wet. See if this will help bring them back to their original shape. So I gave them a good wash, wrung them out a bit. They're already looking much better. So now I'm just gonna dry them in a towel and then probably put them outside. Just because I live in the desert and that's a very easy way to dry anything. So I'm just doing this to get any excess water because they are sponges. So I'm just gonna get any of this excess water out. And they're already looking so much nicer. The shape of most of them came back. Only this one looks weird, but also it's a completely different color and size compared to the rest. So I'm curious if this one is actually from another set. So these specific rollers maybe take to a washing, but whatever brand this was doesn't do it as well. These are by Annie. They're cheap. I used to be able to get them at every like beauty supply on the corner in Brooklyn, but they're not as consistently found out here in the West. So yeah, I'm gonna put these outside to give them a dry, but I think it's worked. So I think I'm also going to take all the plastic parts, make sure they're all assembled correctly, and give them a wash too, because they're probably covered in product. But I also have another idea to maybe replace these and make it easier and more comfortable to sleep in my rollers. So I had an idea, and I was talking to a friend about it. She has very long, very dense hair and likes to roller set it, but she has to pretty much stack her rollers in such a way that she pretty much can't fit them all on her head. So I was thinking, if you take out the plastic piece and replace it with cotton fabric cut into strips and loop it through where the plastic pieces were, now you're able to tie it instead of using the clips, which will be more comfortable for sleeping and spatially may work better for some. It's just orange cotton that I'm using now. My hair is orange, also it's just what I had. But I think that this may work. I'm gonna cut some strips out, give them a sew, and pull them through the new clean rollers. To cut the strips, I'm just using a 2-inch wide plastic ruler and a rotary cutter on a self-healing mat. I'm currently doing this all kind of backwards and upside down for the camera, so I can do a better job. But yeah, I'm doing 2 inches wide. So I cut the strip about 11 inches long to see if it works. I have my little threading tool, and I'm gonna see if I can get this through the roller that way. So I've gotten the roller through the cotton fabric, and now I just need to test the length, which if I can get a little knot without making it scrunch the roller, then it looks like it should work. So this is another way that you can try securing your rollers and your curl. So my rollers are all back together. They're looking fresh. I'm very excited to use them again. I think that this recovered them almost perfectly. So this was a fun experiment that ended up working out. If people want me to, I can go more in depth on the process of making the cotton pieces. I think in the future, I would actually do them 1.5 inches wide and just cut them with pinking shears instead of a rotary cutter. That way I can avoid fraying and not have to sew them. I think I'm gonna stick with the clips for myself for now. But if people want a video on making these, just let me know in the comments and I will make you one. Also, if you just want a set made like this for yourself and don't want to do any of the work, you can shoot me an email and I will sell some sets made with the cotton ties. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful to some of you. I know that vintage life can be expensive, so let's not pass over a saving opportunity when we can. Thanks, guys.